Welcome back to our study. Today we're going to be in Matthew chapter 7, and we're going to start in verse 13. Enter ye in at the strait gate, for wide is the gate, and broad is the way that leadeth to destruction, and many there be which go in thereat. Now this is Jesus that's talking, and this immediately he gets rid of the misnomer of what people just seem to believe, that like everyone that dies, I'll see you on the other side. I'll be there to meet you someday. It's a broad way and a broad road that leadeth to destruction, Jesus says. And he says, because strait is the gate and narrow is the way which leadeth unto life, and few there be that find it. So immediately we know that there's going to be few people that find the way of life, that find salvation, that enter in the strait gate to heaven, and there be a broad, wide road that enters into the way of destruction. That's what Jesus said. He says in verse 15, beware of false prophets, which come to you in sheep's clothing. You know, if a false prophet's going to come to you, they're not going to come to you dressed like Satan. They're going to come to you like an angel of light, right? They're going to come to you in sheep's clothing because they want to deceive you. But inwardly, they are raving wolves. Ye shall know them by their fruits. Do men gather grapes of thorns or figs of thistles? Even so, every good tree bringeth forth good fruit, but a corrupt tree bringeth forth evil fruit. A good tree cannot bring forth evil fruit, neither can a corrupt tree bring forth good fruit. Every tree that bringeth not forth good fruit is hewn down and cast into the fire. Wherefore by their fruits ye shall know them. Now, that passage right there has a lot of practical teaching. I don't know that I fully understand it all. It makes sense to me that if I go out and I want to get grapes, I need to find a grapevine. And if I go out and all I ever see are thorns coming off of that vine and no grapes, then I've got to question myself and say, is that really a grapevine? You know, I plant a bunch of apple trees. That's what Lowe's told me, or some garden center told me, some nursery. But if I plant those trees and every year they never put out one apple, I have to start to wonder, is that really an apple tree? And I think that's the practical teaching here. Now, verse 21, not every one that saith unto me, Lord, Lord, shall enter into the kingdom of heaven, but he that doeth the will of my Father which is in heaven. Now, people that believe that you can get saved and then lose your salvation will use this verse, and they'll say, see, these are people that said, Lord, Lord, they got saved, but then they didn't do the will of the Father. They didn't keep doing the rest of their life, and so they lose their salvation. My interpretation here is not that. My interpretation is that you can't just can't claim the name of God. Not every one that saith unto me, Lord, Lord, shall enter into the kingdom of heaven, but he that doeth the will of my Father which is in heaven. Now, what is doing the will of the Father? It's not just saying, Lord, Lord, or Jesus Christ, just naming his name. It's doing the will of the Father. Well, what is the will of the Father? Well, doing the will of the Father is found in the Gospel of John chapter 6, verse 40. And it says, and this is the will of him that sent me, that everyone which seeth the Son and believeth on him may have everlasting life, and I will raise him up at the last day. And in the Gospel of John chapter 6, verse 28, then said they unto him, what shall we do that we might work the works of God. You want to work the works of God? You want to do something? Jesus answered and said unto them, this is the work of God, that ye believe on him whom he hath sent. That's the work of God. That's doing the will of God. It's to believe on the one that the Father sent. And that's the Lord Jesus Christ. Believe on him. Trust in him for everlasting life. That is doing the will of the Father.